Okay, well, welcome again. And as promised from the last time, hey, WomentorCaz, as promised from the last time, we're going to be talking about what women over 45 should stop doing. Okay?
Mm,
You're doing so
yeah.
many things. You could cut out a whole raft load and be even better. So over to you, please.
Okay. So when you're 45, in fact, a whole lot earlier, but anyway, when you're 45, we should stop the self-critic. Self-critic, my self-critic was so strong. It debilitated me in dating. It debilitated me in hearing what people were saying. I was always criticizing myself. And
Mm,
Doc, Dr. Tayo, I look back now at some photos because we know that, I dropped over another couple of levels. And I look back at some photos when I was 40 and I go, whew, smoking girl. Why did I look in the mirror back then and criticize myself? You've got too many wrinkles. You've got this. You've got a tummy. I was always my biggest critic was always me. Women
mm,
should
mm,
stop
mm.
being critics.
Yeah.
And that overthinking, somebody said to me the other day,
Why do you think that is? Why
why
do
do
you
we
think it is?
criticize ourselves? Because we haven't
Yeah.
been brought up in a society, in a world where we can stand up and go, I am beautiful.
Yeah.
We can't. I am great at this. You can do
Yeah.
it when you go for a job with your resume. You can do it when you go for a promotion, put all your positives and your confidence and everything forward. But when it
Mm.
comes to just general life,
Or
I
just
had to,
you and yourself,
yes.
then everything comes out and you say, oh, but I didn't do this. I could have done that. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yes, yes. And people pleasing. And I'm sorry I'm pointing my finger, but this is pointing my finger to all the women who didn't accept me as I was because I was too beautiful, a little sexy, a little intelligent, a little strong. You know, this is something, and this is
Get
why,
over it, women. Get over
yes.
it because she's here to stay no matter what you say.
And wiser than. So, it's those patterns that are debilitating.
Mm.
So, what about
Mm-mm.
you, Dr. Tayo? What do you see women should stop doing when they're 45 and upwards, although they should stop doing it sooner, but we're focusing on 45 and upwards?
Yeah. I focus obviously on their health, which is moving into longevity because as they turn their 40s, everybody kind of thinks, oh my God, I'm getting older. And it's, the end of the road is coming sooner than ever. And you say, guess what? It doesn't have to be. Aging, the
Mm.
chronological age is there, but your biological age, how your body feels, you need to therefore change some of your habits, just some, in tune with where you are. So none of those pounding the pavements.
Mm.
Just wear out your joints and become more tired people, And I tell people, they laugh. I said, it's against my religion to run. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
You want to have a body that is going to carry you right through old age. And from all the science and all the research, we now know it is building muscle.
Yeah.
And building
Yeah.
muscle will come through food and movement. So no more pounding the
Mm.
pavement, no more starving yourself, because when you starve yourself, all you do is get bigger. We all know that. You eat, you go on a diet, suddenly you eat lettuce leaves and drink celery juice, and you wonder why the scales are going up because you're starving yourself and your body is hanging to every last calorie because it thinks you're
Oh,
starving yourself. And when it needs the energy, it can't get it. So it has to store it.
yes.
If it
I
thinks it
love
has to,
that. I
stop
love
doing.
that. Because
Get
the
rid
other
of the
thing, when we get to that age, I think also, a lot of us will accept that little more podgy. That's certainly it for me, a little podgy around the tummy. And it's almost like, oh, well, it's hormones, it's age. But I want to say, one of the things that happens for us as women, one of the things that we should stop doing at the age of 45 and upwards, if not sooner, is we should stop people pleasing. We should
Mm,
stop accepting and we should stop looking for external validation. When I
right.
stopped looking for external validation, and I actually changed how I saw myself. I met a man and he ended up, I married him 2 years later and we met when I was
He
63.
put a ring on it.
And funnily enough, that he proposed to me 2 years ago in 4 days. So I'm hoping
Oh,
he might
wow.
remember that as something special. Anyway, but when I was dating, and I was in that process. My body image issues were massive. Now, this is something that we're
Wow.
touching on here that we can touch on for all women. And, I looked at myself, I zoomed in on my stomach all the time in pictures, didn't like the pictures. And when I changed how I saw myself, I met a man, and one of the first things that he said to me is, hell, I haven't met a woman who's so comfortable in her own skin and her own body before. And he was 63 as well. Like, are you serious? I was panicking getting naked. I was panicking him touching me and feeling the rollover over my bra. And there he was because I changed my mindset to
Energy
mind
had changed.
flow. My
Yeah.
energy had changed.
Yeah.
And there was I thinking that I almost made myself sick inside at the thought of getting naked after, so long, maybe so old, and so many things were going south and north and every other place. And there's the man going, you are the most confident woman I have ever met in her skin. And he
Mm,
was meeting women in their 20s and 30s too. So I saw that as a really interesting comment. So
mm.
what have you got to say about
The
that?
women, we don't give ourselves enough, what to call it, enough kudos, enough congratulations for getting this far. Because along with all the things, we have a wisdom and experience that cannot be gained any other way.
Ooh, yes,
You
we
know, so
do.
when you take that and you harness it with what you have, it makes a really explosive and attractive. And I don't use the word beautiful, I use attractive. Makes a
Hmm.
very attractive person.
Hmm. I
The
love
package
that.
is amazing.
You almost made me cry live because I was just leaning into that. That is gold. We
Mm.
have something. So when you get to 50, you have something you cannot get until you get to 50. When you get to 60, you have something that you cannot get until you get to 60. Boom, boom. I love
Whew.
it.
On that
We
note, we are
beautiful.
going to, you gotta wait and see what we're going to talk about next. That's roundabout what we're going to happen now. We like
Yeah.
surprising you. And so you keep on continue. You subscribe, you ring the bell so you get notifications. And
Ah, Dr. Tayo, it's always a pleasure. And
always
I love the fact that we can go deep or shallow or wherever we need to go because we are wise, wonderful,
women,
willing
wise,
women.
wonderful
Wonderful,
women.
willing. Put
Yeah.
willing in because we're willing to go
Willing.
wherever
Just
you
think
want
of
us to
all those
go.
W's, 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 W's.
So,
Sassy, sexy, attractive women.
yeah. Did you know that authenticity is the new sexy?
It has to be.
If everybody was being authentic, we wouldn't have those guys that show up on dates and look like they're the father of the person that we thought we were going to have a date with. Uh,
That you keep your ears and eyes open for our notifications. You'd be surprised at what we talk about, and you drop a comment. Let us know what you want us to talk about because we're up
yes.
for
We are wise, wonderful, willing women.
women.
Ciao, Bella.
Ciao, ciao, Bella.